Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. It is Friday evening in Celtic. I've been back in training today. The players have been back in training, and the Celtic social media team decided to put a video, a whole of 1 minute 30 and 1 minute and 3 seconds. You can get the full edition of the Celtic video if you pay for the privilege. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. There is some Celtic news to get about, obviously the one about Adam and Montgomery, but let's talk about the Celtic video first. Celtic did release that video this afternoon, just about an hour ago, of Lennoxtown Unfiltered. Watch on Celtic TV. If you go to Celtic TV, which is celtic.tv, and you see the exact same video, unless you are subscribed to the channel. If you subscribe and pay the monthly subscription. Now, I'm going to tell you why Celtic are doing this and how they got to this situation. You have to go back just over a year ago. So if you remember, around about the 19th of July 2023, Celtic appointed an Apple, yes, Apple as in the Apple phone, an Apple director to the board. He describes the new role as a tremendous honour. Celtic have appointed the current Apple director to the club's board. Brian Rose, who previously worked for Universal Music Group, became the ninth person to take a seat at the top table of the current Premiership League champions as a non-executive director. Rose was employed by Universal as the world's biggest music company for 13 years as managing director between 2003 and 2016. He's been based in London for the past few years before taking up the Celtic job, working for tech giants Apple, and he's a lifelong Celtic fan. And Celtic PLC were delighted at the time to appoint Brian Rose as director. Now, what is the significance, and where am I going with this one? The significance is that Apple Services was all about monthly payment subscription. This guy was at the forefront of developing digital strategies to improve customer experience for Celtic fans, and well, for Apple, the company it worked for at the time. But a lot of that came down to recurrent payments and subscription payment service media. Hence the reason we now have Celtic.tv, and Celtic do tend to put out some of this media on Celtic.tv. So if you haven't subscribed, you basically get the poorer version on social media, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, things like that. Should Celtic be putting out more? A lot of people in the comments of the actual video on YouTube are saying, yeah, other clubs are way ahead of us when it comes to this type of social media. This one, Michael, he says, poor content social media platforms should be a tool for engagement and insight. Other similar sized clubs is far outperformance on this, and then it's a thumb down. And then Chris said, no warm weather training. It is an interesting one. And then Seamus, he said, in a world of social media, a 1 minute 3 training isn't really cutting it. We can't compete in transfers with the top 5 leagues. We certainly can't compete with providing decent media content. It's an interesting one. But this is why Celtic are in the position that they're in, is they have employed this guy. So that's just giving you a bit of background on why they have Celtic.tv. You get the exact same video on Celtic.tv, but if you pay the monthly subscription, and where is the monthly subscription for it? You've got the free view, and then you've got the videos. Click on the videos, but it just shows you the exact same one. You do have to pay for the privilege to see the full video. Now, what is in the full video, you're asking, Baz? What is in the full video? In the full video, it has Brendan Rodgers, it has the players. It shows the players in good spirits back on the pitches and introduced to new team coach Adam Sadler, who replaced Harry Kewell. Remember, Harry Kewell left to go to Japan. Sadler was immediately seen making his presence felt on the pitch, and then in a later clip, it shows him sort of shouting at players and stuff. Other than that, it's not too much. There's no new players involved at Celtic as yet. We are expecting a marquee signing. It's a 2.8 million deal. It's hardly a marquee signing, but there is one player that is coming back to Celtic. It's a player that was took to Fleetwood Town on loan by the one and only Scott Brown. Adam Montgomery has been recalled by Celtic from Fleetwood Town as Fleetwood Town released a statement. The young player, the young Adam Montgomery, has had a bit of an injury-plagued loan stint at Fleetwood Town, the 21-year-old left-back. We've been crying out for a left back. I don't know why he's not getting his chance at Celtic. I think he should have been in and around. Everyone knows this. If you watch this channel on an ongoing basis, everyone knows my thoughts on bringing through the youth players at Celtic. You know, if they're good enough to go out on loan, they're good enough to sit on our bench on a week in, week out basis and get the odd 10, 15 minutes here or there to get them up to speed with the first team. Because ultimately, that is where you want these players to be improving too. Anyway, he was reunited with Scott Brown, who was the manager at the time, but then ex-Aberdeen boss, no, it wasn't, he was ex-Hibs boss, took over from Scott Brown, and then Charlie Adam took over. It's been a bit of a mad season down there at Fleetwood Town by the looks of it. So Celtic he only played 6 times for Fleetwood Town this season, and the last been a 2-0 win over Tranmere Rovers. So anyway, Adam Montgomery has came back to Celtic. He's been brought back to Celtic. So hopefully he's not put back into the B team. That to me suggests that Celtic are struggling to get a left back in this transfer window. Celtic are going to get Adam Montgomery back and get him back inside the first team, hopefully, and then get him to push on for the rest of the season. He's a fantastic little player. I did think it was strange that we put him out on loan. He was one of the players that was breaking through towards the end of last season that I thought, yep, you know, he's a player that could be in and around the first team this season. So maybe Brendan Rodgers is saying, look, is he getting injured? Why is the reason? What are the reasons that he's picking up these injuries down there? And it's maybe the fact that we're not able to get in a left back in this transfer window. A lot of people said we need a goalkeeper, we need a left back, and we need a striker. Well, we're definitely not going for Mavovsky because he's come out and said, I'm happy at Aberdeen. Whatever, mate. Anyway, we move on for that. Adam Montgomery's coming back. It's all smiles at Lennoxtown as the players are reintroduced to someone new. And the reason that we can't see it is because just over a year ago, Celtic took on a new commercial director who was at Universal Music and Apple over the last as many years. And he is all about making more money for Celtic through pay-per-view schemes. Hence the reason that you're only getting a 1 minute. I mean, is it acceptable for Celtic to put out such a vague, and without actually saying, I mean, if it was me running the Celtic media channel, you would put out saying, it was back, you know, right, what have they called it? They've called the video, let's go to the YouTube. They've called it Lennoxtown Unfiltered. Watch it full on Celtic TV. Then you click onto Celtic TV and you get the exact same video. You know, they don't tell you to. There's a lot of misinformation. Well, it's not information. It's just lack of information to say, look, subscribe on Celtic TV. They should have had subscribe on Celtic TV to get the full video. Reword it, Celtic. I know that you watch this channel, so reword it. Do your job right. You want me to come and do the job for you? Anyway, I will be for a small fee. I'll get a heads up. Anyway, Lennoxtown, unfiltered, uninspiring video. Watch it on Celtic TV. I clicked onto Celtic TV and I got the exact same video. There was at no point did it tell me or encourage me to sign up to the monthly payment. Up your game, Celtic. If you want Celtic fans to follow you even more, you know, up your game on social media. I would have had a bit of a better video and given just a little bit more insight into what was actually going on, and then encouraging people to subscribe, because ultimately Celtic want people to subscribe to the monthly packages so that they can make more revenue, and that's all at the end of the day that Celtic are all about. Anyway, on that note, it's Friday. There's not a lot of news going around. We haven't signed the German boy as yet, but when we do, I'm sure we'll put a video out and Celtic can probably make an announcement. It's looking like Sunday or Monday morning. Monday morning, they'll probably make the announcement now, unless they can get the paperwork tied through today. It does look like we're paying 2.8 million for him. Is he going to be worth it? You've got to remember, it's a player that doesn't have a lot of game time until this season. Anyway, on that note, I'm waiting for a pint. Have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world.